Hello everyone in Our Pagan Opinions. This is Kara. I have to first apologize for missing my video this week. This week for me has been totally crazy, so I totally lost track of days. I swear to goodness. So pardon me for being late, number one. Secondly, whoever's day I'm encroaching upon and overlapping, please pardon me, forgive me. But I wanted to get this video up in my perspective this week about socialism. So the question is, what are my opinions on socialism, and is socialism right for America? Okay, I'm not going to attempt to try to sound super smart about this, and I'm not going to try to be adamant about my stance, because my political stance has changed and evolved so much over my life, and I am certain that it will continue to do so, and it will probably take a complete 180, 360, and back again. I'm still young, right? So what I'm going to briefly tell you my understanding and opinion of socialism, because I've studied politics off and on, the definitions of, and I've been politically active off and on. I've been in political arenas and in social activism and in environmental activism, and so being amongst these people, you hear and get so many perspectives on politics and the genres, and there's just so many facets of everything, you know? And despite my activity, despite my immersion with these people and this type of just, environment, I still don't have a very strong grasp or understanding or just wrap my head around all the different communism, socialism, this, that, democratic, blah, 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 blah. So if we're talking about socialism, that's a broad term. Okay, from what I understand, there is no one definition of socialism. Socialism is so vast. What type of socialism are we talking about? What type are you asking which will work for America? Because there's so many, and none of them actually even relate to the other one. You could talk about one type of socialism over here and another type of socialism, and they're not the same. It's not even the same thing. So what socialism are we talking about? Utopian socialism, la la la, libertarian socialism, anarchist socialism, or are we talking about, a socialist economy, whatever. I don't know. And the other thing is, when you get so far, what I've discovered is when you get really far in one direction of socialism, you can get so far in one direction that you're so far into one direction of socialism that you're actually in communism. Do you understand what I mean? Like, you could be so far right into socialism that you're actually in left communism. And that's what totally bugs me out about political definitions and genres and stuff, is because it all blends and melds in one way or another. And okay, so what I understand about socialism in general is that it's socially, the economy, the politics, property, the management of everything is socially by the people, collectively owned and managed, right? With a political overseeing. Um, Completely. And I think that takes away personal property. Or I see, I'm confused. I'm really like, ugh. And I even spent a long time prior to this video studying it up on Wikipedia and all the other resources, and I'm still just like, what? Wait a minute. So honestly, I don't, I mean, many of my beliefs and many of the things I stand for, I've been told that I am socialist. Many of the things that I have stood for in my life, I've been told that I'm libertarian. So that kind of many of the things that I stand for and many of the things that I think work in this world according to my beliefs, thoughts, I've been told are anarchist. So I'm a combination of social anarchist, libertarian, and I've also been told that some of my beliefs are communist, communal. I don't necessarily agree with either communism or socialism. I don't agree that the whole community should own everything, like in communism, where you have no personal property, nothing is personally owned. And I don't think that all of socialism works either. I, and I think I'm more of an individualist, but I definitely find the value in, you know, communal sharing of certain resources and property, but I also know the value of owning your own and having your individual rights and liberty not encroached upon. And where I sit now, this isn't even much a definition about my opinion of socialism as it is just kind of what I am, is I think that people's personal liberty, if you what you work for, what you sweat for, what you're knowledgeable about, what you put your energy towards, what you acquire honestly and with honor and dignity and with your own work, and you didn't steal and you didn't manipulate and you didn't um, take anything by coercion or violence. You earned your property honestly or traded it honestly, and it's yours. Period. I don't think you should have to pay for it over and over and over again to some government. I don't think that you should have to share it if you don't want to. You know what I mean? And I think that you should be able to share it if you want to and not have to pay for it over and over again because you share for it. And so where I stand is, quite honestly, I don't agree with government at all. At all. I think that the best answer for America and most countries is to, and I know this is like such a oh God, anti-patriotic thing to say, or anti-government, blah, but hey, it is what it is. Government is corrupt. No matter what country, no matter what system you're under, no matter what political arena you're in, government is corrupt. It doesn't work for the people. It only benefits the ones that are in the government. It is not for the people. It doesn't need to be. People do not need government. We do not need to be told what to do. I firmly and strongly think that people are smart enough, but people are going to disagree. They're going to be like, no, we're not. It would be rampant in the streets and it would be chaos and nobody could take care of themselves. Well, I don't agree. I think people left to their own devices are good. I think that the bad and the corrupt and the distorted and the perverted and the crime and the bullshit that goes on, I think it would disintegrate because people would take care of themselves and take care of their own, and we would weed out criminal activity and violence. It just wouldn't exist because people's needs would be met, because people are good and we are strong and we are smart and we are capable of taking care of ourselves and growing our own food and trading our own goods and rearing our own young and educating ourselves. We're not fucking morons, but we think we are, and we think we need to be given handouts and, oh, can I be free? Can I have this right? Can I please have some clean water, government? Can I please breathe some clean air, government? Can I please fuck that shit? That's where I'm at. Don't We're better than that. We're bigger than that. And why the fuck do we need government? Period. So whatever genre that makes me, that's where I'm at. I don't subscribe to socialism. I don't subscribe to communism. I don't subscribe fully to even libertarianism or anarchism or democracy or capitalism or fucking anything, because it's all somebody telling somebody else what to do. And I don't think that's not that's not how we should live. That's not how I want to live. And I don't want to tell anybody else what to do, and I don't want nobody telling me what to do. And who would take care of the water, and who would protect the environment, and how would we I honestly, truly in my heart think that if there wasn't so much bureaucracy and regulation and government and people who are doing without and are going without the natural abundance that is in this world, there is enough in this world for everyone. If the greedy motherfuckers weren't over here hoarding it all and then trying to dish it out in little increments to everyone, and then, no, these people over here can't have any because we're trading over here, and if that bullshit wasn't happening, if politics and government and the fucking guys up there weren't using us as puppets and pawns and, fucking with the resources, people would be doing wonderful. We'd be flourishing. But because people are starving and going without over here, and then over here we've got people that are living abundantly and wasteful, America, whatever, I think that the scales are tipped too far, and people get desperate, and there's crime, and everything's distorted. I think, if you haven't noticed from my rant here, I don't think anything good comes from government. I don't think anything good for the human nature and human spirit and human well-being collectively comes anything good from government run anything. So that's, fly my flag. That's what I believe in. That's what I think. You know, it just, people, we don't need it. We don't need everybody running everything, because nobody agrees on anything wholeheartedly. So there's always going to be problems if you have the whole collective owning everything and there's no private property, no personal property. No, everyone just needs to do their own thing, and then, you know, gather amongst the people who you vibe with, and, don't be violent on anybody. Live with a non-violent, non-aggression. There's something I heard recently. Oh, it's like a voluntarism, something like that. The non-aggression principle, like, leave me alone, let me do my thing, I'll let you do your thing, we'll live. The only acceptable means of violence is for self-defense, period. No forced anything. That means no government, no police forcing you to do anything. I could go on and on, but it's really not covering the actual question here. And I don't know how else to answer it. Because every time I try to wrap my brain around political arenas and, what is socialism, communism, this, that, and the other thing, my brain goes, and it doesn't make sense, and they all meld together, and it just, in the end, it's all bullshit anyway, because it's all somebody telling some other group of people how to live and who can have what resources, and that's just, it doesn't make sense to me, man, and I don't agree with anybody telling anybody what they should or shouldn't do, as long as it's not violent, as long as they're not hurting somebody, and there's enough for everyone to go around. Live and let live, man. I want to be more, like, intellectual about this, and I want to be more, like, politically correct, I guess, but I'm just not about this. This is just my raw feelings, and in the political climate of America lately, saying what I'm saying is considered fucking terrorism, which is bullshit. But, fuck it. It is what it is. I'm not a damn terrorist, but I don't think the government has any good to do for the people at all. They don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck. Whether the people live or die, they are pawns in their big chess game. If that is not glaringly obvious to you, you're fucking blind. That's all I gotta say about that. Asta. Blessed be.